Boyfriend 32M keeps setting fitness challenges for me 26F with extravagant rewards, but it's driving me insane. How do I deal with his expectations and stay true to myself? My 26F boyfriend 32M Mark and I have been together for about a year and a half. When we met I was severely underweight. I've struggled with an eating disorder for over a decade, which is a whole different story, but Mark didn't judge me and still told me I was beautiful intercourse. Even though it was hard, he pushed me to recover to a healthy weight over the past year. I am 5 feet 6 inches and went from 100 to 125. Even though I still struggle with body dysmorphia, I try to remain active in my recovery. Up until maybe the last 6 months, Mark's efforts to get me to eat healthy and be active had mostly positive effects on my life, but it's starting to drive me insane. For a little background, Mark and I have a traditional relationship. I stay at home and he goes to work. He makes a really good salary. Like really good. As in close to 7 figures. Pretty early on, Mark figured out that my love language just so happens to be gifts, and he would set health fitness challenges for me in exchange for nice things. The first one was to squat 150 pounds for 10 reps for a handbag. He assumed I would not be able to do this while underweight. Even though I have an eating disorder, I still come from a very athletic background, so naturally, I managed to complete this challenge in 4 months at 112 pounds, healthier, but still ridiculously small to be squatting that much. Regardless, he held up his end of the bet and I got the bag. Yay! He would always threaten to take the bag away if I lost the squat. He never just did, but this theme comes up later. Gradually I stopped squatting as much and focused more on cardio and toning, going to the gym 5-ish days a week, and my weight stayed around 110-115 for like 3 months before challenge number 2 came, when I mentioned how much I wanted a specific designer necklace. Mark told me he would get me the necklace if I maintained 123 pounds for 3 months. This was like a gut punch to my anorexia. I was able to negotiate a little and make it somewhat more rational for my disordered brain to accept. I told myself I could always get my weight back down after. This challenge was much more frustrating and difficult, honestly. Regardless, here I am today, unwillingly but healthily fluctuating between 125-130, in a cute necklace. Woo! Since then, Mark has been proud of how far I have come, my family has praised him for saving my life, and I even went back to school for a little. Recently, like in the past 3 months-ish, Mark has been begging and pleading me to come to the gym with him in the mornings, and this has always been an absolute deal breaker for me. My morning routines are secret. I didn't really mind making him breakfast around 8 a.m. before he went to work, but he is asking that I get up at 5:30 a.m. because he wants to spend more time with me. We already spend breakfast and dinners, nights and daytime workouts and weekends together, so I'm not so sure. I stood my ground until one morning I refused to get up and make him breakfast. I just wanted to sleep in, and he snapped on me, slammed doors and went into my bag and took his credit cards away that he gave me to do our errands and grocery shopping. That's when I started to speculate that Mark actually resented the fact that I stayed home and slept in while he went to work. So, naturally, I went and got my real estate license, joined a firm, and tried to work to get him off my back, which it did for a while. Mark was neither supportive or opposed to me working, as long as I still made him and our relationship a priority, because at the end of the day he was the one supporting us. Well, unfortunately my business did not thrive due to the simple fact that it was not my one priority, which is essential in becoming a new realtor, especially in this market. So, after a couple of months I had to go back to staying at home until I figured out what to do next. It didn't take long for Mark to again start nagging about me coming to the gym in the morning. I kept refusing and even started working out 10-15 days in a row without rest to try to appease him, but this didn't change his mind at all. A few days ago Mark told me that he was starting to feel different about marriage in the future, and his reasoning was how I wouldn't have the discipline to get up and take care of kids we both want. Obviously this upset me, but at the same time I sorta see his perspective. In the reverse, if he just slacked off and couldn't provide for me, I wouldn't be with him either. Last weekend, we were working out together and he asked if I could do a pull-up. I asked him if he could, and he did. I was honestly impressed, because for how obsessed he is with the gym, you honestly wouldn't be able to tell. Physically he is tall and has an average build, nothing out of the Roman Empire, but I love him and a little dad bod is hot to me, so whatever. I was impressed he could do a pull-up. Lol. I tried, and I could just barely get my chin to the bar before dropping. I didn't know pull-ups were that hard. So here is where the third challenge comes in. And tell me if I'm crazy for feeling resentment for this. He told me he would get me another specific nice piece of jewelry that I have been wanting if I did 30 separate 5:30 a.m. workouts, had visible standing non-flexing abs, and could do 10 pull-ups. 10 pull-ups? Does anyone know anyone who can even do 2? The fact that I even entertain this, I still can't wrap my own mind around, but I was able to get Mark to agree to 7 pull-ups. And I'm trying to get him to understand that standing abs is so subjective it's insane, especially for a female. I could wake up and have abs one morning then be bloated like a whale by the time I go to bed depending on water or food intake, time of my cycle, hormones, alcohol, etc. The last time I had abs I was severely underweight. My abs don't show without flexing unless I have extremely low body fat. This is undeniably triggering my anorexia because no matter how recovered I am, there is no way of stopping a relapse once it's started. Mark started showing me pictures of women who were very obviously on steroids. I tried telling him we don't naturally have abs like men do without a shit ton of testosterone, or maybe you're an Olympian, whatever. He disagrees because these women have abs anyways. I had never gotten up early to work out like that since maybe high school when I was playing multiple sports, and since it was significant other important to him, I figured I would at least try. Maybe if I can do 7 pull-ups I'd have standing abs either way. What's the worst that can happen? Side note, I'm not out of shape at all, I'm in really great shape, and get compliments all the time, so I'm pretty sure it's not a weight-related thing. I have a flat tummy, toned legs, and a crazy chest-to-waist ratio in my opinion, regardless of what my body dysmorphia tells me. I'm starting to wonder what the hell is the goal here? Is this even worth it? I've heard of people working for 3 years to get 5 pull-ups, let alone 7. Maybe I'm crazy, but I'm on day 2 of this challenge and Mark has never been so flirty and sweet and loving towards me, but God, I feel like I'm going ducking insane. I'm typing this out on a treadmill in my second gym session of the day, just fuming. The damn gym laundry might be piling higher than my resentment. Why did I agree to this? Is he miserable working all the time and does his misery want company? Is it because I subconsciously want to relapse? Am I actually just lazy and ungrateful? Did I dig myself into a hole to the middle of the earth? Anyone know how to do a pull-up? Help. Too long didn't read. My boyfriend 32M sets fitness challenges for me 26F with extravagant rewards, but it's causing strain in our relationship. I feel pressured and unsure about the goals, seeking advice on how to handle the situation. Yikes, there are so many red flags in this post. I don't want to do any more fitness challenges for expensive rewards. I think I would rather spend my time with my therapist talking about my ad and how to manage my body dysmorphia. So let's stop talking about my body and what you want it to do and look like. Thanks. Also, this guy sounds fucking awful.